This week, we take a closer look at rising concerns over a leadership vacuum in South Korea and its potential impact on foreign policy and regional stability. For that, our correspondent Kim Jung-sil joins us now. Jung-sil, so let's start with the U.S. How has Washington responded to this whole political chaos here in the country?
Tami, South Korea's this crisis is now in the global spotlight with potential impeachment of President Yoon raises serious questions about the country's leadership and its ability to manage crucial diplomatic and security priorities. The United States has been quick to reaffirm its alliance with South Korea, with Deputy Secretary of State Kurt Campbell recently confirming plans for high-level talks with South Korea's interim government under acting President Han Duck-soo. While we don't have Secretary Campbell's soundbite at the moment, let's listen to U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who earlier this week expressed confidence in South Korea's democratic resilience.
I think the most important thing is that the Republic of Korea has demonstrated its democratic resilience. We've seen it follow peacefully a process laid out in its constitution. Most important, we strongly support the Korean people. We strongly support the ironclad alliance that joins our two countries together.
In addition, acting President Han Duck-soo spoke last weekend with U.S. President Joe Biden for 16 minutes, assuring Washington that state affairs will proceed constitutionally and according to law. Biden, in return, emphasized that the ROK-U.S. alliance remains strong and highlighted the importance of maintaining a robust joint defense posture.
Jung-sil, with the political turmoil unfolding, many are wondering how it might affect South Korea-US relationship, especially ahead of the incoming Trump administration, which is set to take off next month. Should we be worried?
Tami, looking ahead to January, experts are urging South Korea to really better prepare for the return of U.S. President Trump. Professor Park Won-gon of Ewha Women's University highlights Trump's way of diplomacy, which could present challenges during South Korea's transitional period. Let's hear what he has to say.
Trump, and he's always thinking about all the relationship, especially with the allies and friendly country, in a transactional way. So I don't think he considers the current South Korean government as a responsible partner, and he definitely will wait until they settle down.
Professor Park also stressed that the next 6 months will be critical as Trump will be finalizing his foreign policy, appointing key officials, and setting his agenda. He emphasized the need for South Korea to establish a united approach in dealing with the U.S. during this period. He believes that South Korea must show unity across all sectors, the people, government, academia, and opposition. This would demonstrate to the international community that the country is still capable of managing its challenges both domestically and globally.
So there's the U.S. And when we're talking about Seoul and Washington, we have to talk about the trilateral partnership with Japan. Now, what's the reaction coming from Tokyo?
Tami, on Thursday, acting President Han Duck-soo spoke with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba and explaining South Korea's domestic situation. They discussed maintaining stable South Korea-Japan relations and trilateral cooperation with the U.S., agreeing to strengthen communication ahead of next year's 60th anniversary of diplomatic normalization. The call came as Japanese media expressed concerns that South Korea's political instability could disrupt trilateral cooperation. Professor Im Chul of Gyeongnam University offers insight into Japan's perspective.
Japan also thinks South Korea as a very important, partner country to deter North Korean provocations and also to deter Chinese, military build-up.
Professor Im added that the current political crisis introduces uncertainty into the bilateral relationship, raising concerns about the stability of regional cooperation.
Then let's talk about other countries, particularly those surrounding the Korean Peninsula.
Well, countries like China and Russia are closely monitoring the situation and are expected to adopt a cautious approach. Experts believe that while neither country is likely to take drastic action, they are waiting to see how South Korea handles the crisis and will adjust their positions accordingly. One of the primary primary concerns has been North Korea, while Pyongyang has largely remained rather quiet so far, merely reporting on the progress of the impeachment motion and just citing facts. There's speculation about whether it might exploit South Korea's leadership vacuum to escalate provocations. However, Professor Im believes Pyongyang is unlikely to act recklessly during this time, especially with the US and South Korean militaries prepared to respond strongly to any provocative moves.
Under this kind of political crisis, the United States and South Korean militaries are likely to respond more forcefully to North Korea's, any military move.
Now, the government has a lot of work ahead with the balancing the potential threat of North Korean provocations while demonstrating to the world that South Korea is back on track during this sensitive time.
You're right. And it's important to note that while this past couple of weeks had been tough, we have overcome similar instances in the past with the impeachment of former presidents Park Geun-hye and Roh Moo-hyun. Experts believe that despite these challenges, South Korea's resilience, particularly during the martial law period, will show the world its strength and commitment to democratic values.
All right, Jung-seo, thank you so much for the report today. We'll definitely have to monitor how South Korea navigates, political and also security crossroads.
Yes, we should. Thank you for having me, Dami.